Okay, welcome back, guys. So this to them standard and move topological. So we're going to be working more on the boots. We're going to be on this tutorial. We're going to be refining the boots and then try to get a better topology around this before moving on. So I'll just keep refining this even more just to get this in shape. I'll just push this inwards like so. Okay. Let's see what we have. Like so. No, let me undo that. Think I might just use maybe I'll just use the clay build up brush. Add some kind of roundedness in there, then I'm going to smooth that out. That's way too aggressive. Let me take down the smooth brush intensity. Okay. Yes, okay. Let's see. What else can we adjust in here just to make things feel right before we kind of move to the next step. I'm just trying to make sure things look as close enough as possible in here before moving on. So just push this outward a bit. Now the reason why it feels wobbly is because we have so many details. We have too many polygonal details in here. So though not as much as we need though, but for a base like this that we're still trying to refine, it's making things a bit difficult for us to kind of move quickly without having broken up transitional flow to it. But I'm just going to overlook that and then just keep trying to get this in shape before moving on. Okay, something like so. Let's see. Let's look this example. Let's push this down. This part should be actually touching the floor. Okay, I'll push this upwards like so, just to have that roundedness around it. Something like this should be fine. Okay. Let's get this from the top angle and you always want to kind of make sure you're taking it on all angles just to make sure, because this is actually a 3D model, so we always want to make sure you check it at all angles just to make sure everything is working and deforming correctly, and then you have the correct flow around this. Okay, something like that should be fine. I'm just trying to get this to look as close enough as possible before I start remeshing this and getting this at a better topology. Right, let's see. Okay. Just push this inward. I'm just pushing this closer to the feet itself. Because most of this detail, most of this part, the opposite top part is not really going to be visible in our render. So though we're still going to add detail in there though, but since it's not going to be really visible in our final render. So I'm just trying to get this to have a more natural pose to it. And I'm also trying to make sure it feels at least accurate enough. So even though we want to kind of reuse this model for something else, we can always do that. Okay. And just push this down because this part should be the part touching the floor. So not pushing that down. I'll just use the edge polish to even smooth this, make this even feel more rounded. like so. Okay. Let's see. I think this is everything working correctly. This is fair enough. Let me look for another reference image that we can use for this particular view. Maybe just push this inward like so. Inward like so. That should be fine. Okay. I think the overall silhouette of the boots now is kind of 80 or more or less 90% there. Just looking for minor adjustment we can fix in there. Okay, I think it's probably safe now to kind of duplicate this. Let me just smooth out this detail, because these details are not really going to be visible when we kind of Z-image this lower subdivision level. So let me kind of get this smoothed out and to feel more in a straightforward or more or less like a neutral pose without too much detailing. So I'm smoothing out those details as much as possible. Okay. Alright. Even more. Okay, that seems fine. So I'm just checking this with transparency on, just to see if the feet, if these boots are not poking out way too much over the feet. So that's fine. It's actually in a good spot. I saw it in there now. That's actually fine. So let me turn this off. Okay. I think it's safe now for us to make a duplicate and then keep working on this. So let me select the boots. I'll do a duplicate for this. Okay. Then I have a few options in mind, but we'll see how it goes though. We'll see how it goes. But basically we're going to be taking down this to a lower subdivision level. So I'm going to let's see. Let's use turn on the text edge and keep crease. Let me see remesh this now. Okay, this is what we have. I think just guessing. Let's see. Let me kind of smooth this top edge. That top edge feels too jagged. It feels jagged, way too jagged. So let me just mark that out. Then invert the selection and blur this out. And from the information tab, I'm going to be using the polish by groups. So I'll just drag this in more. Let's see what we have in there. Okay, that seems fine. That kind of fix the issue for us. So back to the ZBrush. Let me just increase the subdivision level more. The adaptive sizing, I'll put it around 15. That should be fine. Then ZBrush this. Let's see what we have now when we ZBrush. Okay. We're getting there. Let's see. Let's half this. Let's go on half of this. We also kind of subdivide this with half of the polygons. So that's here. We're getting there. Yeah, this is actually cool. One more. Let's go one more. This is actually quite nice though. It's actually quite nice. Okay. Except for one thing. This under part. This is just extra polygons that we not actually need. I'm guessing that I don't actually need that under part to have to be closed. We can actually even leave it open. Remember we had like a poly group under that part. So I think I'll actually separate this out. So that part feels hollow and feels empty. So I think I'll just undo most of this. Let me see if I can undo. I can undo most of this back in here. Go one more. So we have this poly group in there now. So we can actually separate this now. So you can separate this. I'll click Shift Control, click on that. So let me just mark this out. Then I will do, let's go to modify topology. I'll do a delete hidden. Remember, we still have a backup for this, so that's fine. Because I was going to be using that under parts poly group for something else. So let me just smooth out that edge. Let me turn on that dots, and then also here much better now. So that will kind of round up that edge down there. I think I would. That is smoothing this way too much though. I think let me use the lasso selection. Let me just max out just very close to the end part. Invert the selection by control clicking out on the empty canvas. Invert the selection. So now I can actually smooth that out with the polish by groups just to tighten up those edges. So that should be fine now. So now we can actually rematch this now. Now that we have the empty part, that hole is in there now. We can actually rematch this now. So this will do a better job for us. So the previous settings are still there, which is cool. So we can just rematch this now. Okay. We can go half of this also. Let me just tighten this up a bit. Let's see. Yeah, okay, let's continue because we can always tighten this out later on when we have lower polygons to work with. So it's on half now. Let's just keep rematching this. Rematch this again. I think one more should be fine. Though this is a good spot though, but let's go one more. Let's go to a more lower subdivision level. Yes. So now we have more control over this now. And the quadred spacing on each poly face is actually, it's quite nice though. It's quite nice though. You can actually use this. You can actually use this without having to retopologize this by hand. So this is a very good base now to work with. Now you can see how fluent it is, or how fluid it is to kind of change up the proportions even faster. Unlike when we had so much polygons to work with, that just made the transitional flow a bit more difficult to work with. So this is fine. Okay. Yeah, we're there now. Yeah, this is good. Let's just modify this a bit more. Just modifying this a bit more. Forgive me if I'm a bit of a perfectionist in here, but I have a good reason for doing that. So we're just gonna get this to look really close to something really good. Okay. So now we have the other one in here. So this is a duplicate now. So let me go to the duplicates. I think I might still have to duplicate the duplicate itself. So let me select this. Let me rename this so I keep things tidy. Let me rename this to boots main. Okay. Then I can go. Let's see. Let me just check it. Just checking this to be sure everything's working correctly. Was it going to be adding thickness to this any later on though? But let me just try to get. Let me just try to. Okay, yeah. Okay, I need to fix this. So we remove topological brush. Then let's kind of get this evened out. In here also, let's kind of get this evened out properly. Something like so should be fine. In here also, just trying to get this evened out so that when we kind of subdivide this a bit more, kind of detailed that we have good enough resolution to work with in that particular region. Okay. So let me duplicate this also, the initial one we had before, the original base, because I want to kind of separate out this part. So Control Shift on that on the sole. Then I will let's go to modify. Which one should we do? Let's go to modify topology first and kind of delete hidden on that. So I would go to modify topology and then delete hidden. And now I can go to the deformation and then kind of round out this jagged edge. Turn off that dot on the polish by group and then polish this even more. Yeah, that seems fine. All right. So let's see if everything's working correctly. So see how it's kind of coming out of the edge. So I want to kind of make sure I have the same something similar in here, but I might just have to do that later on after remeshing this, so I have greater control over this. Let me increase the brush size and then let's see what we can adjust in here. Let's see. Probably push this one inwards a bit more. Inwards a bit more like so. Outward. Okay. That should be fine. Let me just check this now. So I'm just gonna push this out. Pushing all of this out. Because it has like an extra edge that is kind of outward. Something like this. So I'll just keep doing this all over. Try to average this out. I know what's it going to be is remeshing this, but I'm just gonna get this in place first before remeshing this. It's basically the same thing actually. So either you remesh this and then you kind of push all of this out, or you do that now and then you remesh it later on. So anyway still works, because anyway still works actually. Anyway still works. So I'm just gonna get this out of shape, out of place. Okay. Let's see how this looks like in here. Okay. Alright. That seems fine. Yeah, I think we can work with this now. So when we kind of remesh this now, we'll still have a lower subdivision level to work with that we can now move. I want to move, we'll have more control over this, and then the movement will be a bit quicker. Okay. Just kind of forgive my perfectionism. Or is there any word like that? Forgive my perfectionism on this. But let me just kind of get this to look right before moving on to the next step. Okay. Right. I think this is fairly close enough to what I want. Okay, I think this is probably high time we kind of remesh this now. So let's remesh this bad boy, because this boy has been a very bad boy. So take down the adaptive size around 15, and then half of this I should definitely turn on keep crease and detect edges. Well, let's see what we have first. So let me just turn this tool on. Okay, remesh. Let's go lower. Let's even go lower. Let's go lower than this. We can go lower. Let's do this. Let's do this. How many polygons do we have? Oh. I think this is actually enough. We don't need to go lower than this. This is actually enough. If you don't go lower than this, that will just be awkward. Because like seriously, how low can we go? So with this now, we can even make some more adjustments with this with a more topological brush if you want to. If you want to, which I will. Yes, I will. There's nothing you can do about it. Oh, yeah, I think it's actually something you can do about it. You can actually fast forward this part. Please don't fast forward. Please don't fast forward. Let's do this together. Please don't fast forward. Okay. What else can we do in here? I think all the base now. We're actually in a good spot now. So let me just kind of hold Alt and click on this. I think I'll need to go lower. I believe I'll need to go lower because I need to kind of select some polygons and kind of get something at the back. This back sole, yeah, this back sole. We need this back sole out of this. So I believe I'll be going to a lower subdivision level to kind of capture that, get that back sole properly. Though you can actually do this here. You can actually do this here if you want to do, but I would need to subdivide. Sorry, I'll need to go to a lower subdivision on this by zero remashing this even more. Just one more. Yes, just one more. Just one more. Just one more. Yes. Yes. So much power. Yes, this is ideal now. This is ideal for us to work with. I think we can actually use the Z modeler to kind of use the Q mesh to kind of add, kind of give everything that we need the same poly group. So let's go to Z modeler. BZM should work just fine. So now with Q match selected, so kind of make sure it's on Q mesh. Where are you? Where are you? Let me be on the face. Let me just. No. No, definitely not. No, definitely not. Let me undo. This is not what I want. Let me undo that. Okay, you know what? I have a better idea. Let's use the max lasso and just kind of max out the region where we want to kind of polygroup. Yeah, then Control W on this. Control W. Yeah, now yeah, perfect. This is even faster compared to what we wanted to do by using the Q match to kind of select more like polygroup select all the faces we need. That will take a longer time. So that way this is actually faster. Okay, so I would need to let me just rename this to so. So I need to duplicate this face. So I'll kind of do a duplicate for this. So we have two now. So we have two of this particular mesh now. So control click on that to isolate that. And I'll obviously do a delete hidden for this. So modify topology, delete hidden. Where are you? Where's you? Yeah, there. Delete hidden. So now we basically have three models now for the foot, for these boots. They made the top and then the flat sole, and then we have this other sole that's not too flat. And they're not supposed to be too flat. Okay, the heel, it should be the heel here. This should be the heel. That's the right word to use. So I'm dragging that heel down now. Somewhere around here should be fine. Let's see, somewhere around here. Then I think this will be a good time to kind of start adding thickness on this. So control click on this. I need to give this I need to kind of give this the same poly group. So I need to give this the same poly group. But let's see. So Control W to give it the same, to give it one single poly group. But I know you guys will pretty much know what I want to do next now. So I'm just going to add some more thickness to this boot, just like it is in the reference image on the top right corner. So BZM, I'm going to be using the extrude. So each space bar, make sure you're on the face, each space bar, then I'll go to, where is the extrude? That's it. I'll need to, should be on all polygons, Yeah, where's all polygons? Yes, I think. Let me just get a good angle for this. So around the face, something like so. So I'm just trying to kind of eyeball how thick this should be. This should be fine, I guess. I'm just trying to figure out how thick this should be. So I'll do this also. Let me select this, and then I'll do the same thing also in here. Just drag this. I think this should, trying to figure out if this should be fine. Let me do this way up again. And now that feels a bit weird. Though that looks cool though. This is actually fine though, but I think I don't really like the way it's coming out. I need to flatten that stuff. Yes, this stuff, the bottom part needs to be flattened out. So I will undo all of this. I will undo that. And I'll go to the gizmo. I'm going to using the gizmo now, and then I'll just drag and flatten this, like completely flatten this up. I'll keep dragging this, kind of flatten this up on the axis. I don't know if this is flattened out enough. Yeah, camera keeps going off. Let me kind of find this back F on the keyboard, okay? This is quite annoying. I'm just gonna get this right. Okay, well, that seems fine now. That feels a bit better now. Yeah, that feels much better now. Maybe even, let's see, let me drag this in like so. So I want to kind of select this top face and then kind of make it even thicker. Let's see. So Control Shift click, invert that, max that, and then Control Shift click out, and then put Control and drag out the selection to invert that max. So I'm going to increase this up a bit more, probably somewhere around here should be fine, I guess. Though this feels way too much though. No, it's way too much. It's way too much. So let me take this down. Somewhere around here should be fine. Okay. That seems fine. That seems fine. Let's see what else can we adjust in here. Just checking this out just to be sure if everything's working correctly before I move on. Yeah, everything seems to be working just fine. So we need to start adding some kind of extra edge loops around this just to tighten things up when we kind of smooth. But I might still also need to kind of merge this sole and the heel together though. But we'll see. Let's see. Okay. So now I can, yes, with the edge loop now, with insert, I can kind of add like extra edge loop around this to tighten this up. Around here also should be fine. Okay. For the top part also. And the ZBrush actually did a very nice job for us by adding this topology around this. So I'll do this for the under part also. Something like this should be fine. Alright, that seems fine. So I'll do this now for this heel. I'll do this for the heel also. I'll isolate the heel. And I'll just repeat the same process, edge loop around this. This goes around this, which is just fine. down here, one in the middle, like so. Let's just put this in here, and another one in here. Okay. Then I'll go to the under part. I'll do no, let me do something around here like so. Okay, there should be fine. And I'll do one in here also like so. That should be fine also. That's completely fine. So it's all good now. So since I'm working with symmetry, so it's affecting the other side also, which is exactly what we want. So now for the top parts, so let me isolate this. First of all, let's start by adding some thickness to this. So with on Z modeler, with the Z modeler, we can just go on the face and kind of extrude this inwards. Let's see. We want to have enough thickness on this as much as possible. So when you're adding kind of details on this, it does not, we don't have like protruding back faces out of this. Okay, so maybe a little thicker than this. So now we can start adding some edge loops around this just to tighten up those edges. Do one here also. Okay, even do one for the center part like so. Okay, around here should be fine. Then I'll do the same thing for the corresponding side. Okay, let's do for this part also. We might not need to do for the inner part, but let's just to fulfill all righteousness, let's just put this in there also. So that part doesn't feel left behind. So one here and one around here also. Alright. So we can actually add some more subdivision level to this to kind of get a visual representation of how those additional edge loop added in there are kind of playing out. So let me just get this out of the way. Now subdivide sub. Let's see. Just trying to think I would. Let's see. I need to merge this down. So I'll merge this down with the sole. That's fine. I don't think I'll be merging this with the top part because I don't think it's completely necessary because we want to kind of detail this top part. So we're going to add more subdivision. And the sole and the heel does not really need that much subdivision because it's already in the right spot already. It's already in a good place. So adding more subdivision will just be an overkill. I don't like how that top part is looking. That edge looks like just way too tight. I want that part to be a bit rounded. So let me isolate this first. I would need to delete those extra edge loop added in there. So I want to go to the edge mode, and I'll hit space bar to go to, and now I'll look for delete. So it should be on delete edge loop complete. Yes, exactly. So I'm gonna click that. No, that should click that to delete that. No, I don't want to bring that back. So I'll delete this inner part also, and now edge loop added in there. Let's subdivide this even more. We're close enough now. We're not completely there though. Not completely there though. So Shift F to bring out the poly group. So let me turn this off. So let's add no, this is not what we want. So it should be on insert. Yes, somewhere around a bit far away though. Uh Let's see what we have now. I think this should be fine for what we need it for, though. I guess. Nope, undo that. I think I will need to delete this. I need to delete this. Now let's keep some gap in between there, somewhere around there, a bit more gap in there. That should be fine. Yeah, this will work just fine. This will work just fine. So this will work just fine. Everything looks fine, which is cool. So in the next lesson, we're going to start detailing this boot. So bye for now.